And it's cold, cold up here. Cold. Warm up your hands. That's enough. There's always different ideas when it comes to animals. One of the bigger farms up here, next door, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna clean out their grain dryer. And it has all the shelled corn in it and everything. And these guys will eat it. Not gonna just give them that. They have to be mixed, but at the start, probably a couple 100 pounds of it. It's all just this cracked corn. That's what we want. So I'm gonna go up there after chores and I'm gonna do that. So that's just the ways of one farmer helping another. Now look at these kind of things. Saves on feed bills, so you look at those things. Make sure that you can y'all know that I don't like to spray chemicals and pesticides on my crops. You know that in my videos. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be looking at all the ulterior motives, ulterior ways to farm. And there are some. There are lots of them. Crop rotation is one of the biggest things. Really responsibility in farming. Stop using so many chemicals on the land. It doesn't have to be labeled organic, because organic is just, in my way of farming, it's never really going to be organic, but it's close. It's the closest you can get without spraying chemicals. And I've been reading about it, studying it. Amazed the ways to make good farming practices happen without using chemicals on your land. And as I go on with my farming life, I'll be showing you those ways. And I'll tell you, if you really want to know, think about it. You want something to think about, take the average citizen, and you tell them this wheat lends us bread. Here's what I did to it. I bought GMO seed, which is a genetically modified seed. And genetically modified seeds have a chemical in it. And the reason they have put these chemicals in is because it's made so you can spray chemicals on it when it starts to grow. I'm not going to mention names of who these chemical companies are. There's many, but there's one big one. It's always, the seed is something ready. Right? So, you can spray chemical on it. It's a pesticide, it's a herbicide. You spray that, then the sprayers come down and they spray after the crop starts growing. So the seed does not get killed by the chemical that you're spraying on it. One of the biggest chemicals in that spray is that glyphosate, which is a very dangerous chemical for the body. My cat's over there, if you can see them, they're ready for milk. They're just sitting there waiting for them. That's funny. Anyway, alright, so you take this seed, you put it in the ground, you spray it a couple of times throughout the year, you know, with more chemicals, and you tell yourself, okay, I got to do this so these weeds won't grow. The crop is better, so you're saying the crop is better, it's bigger. However, I'll tell you in other videos how that's not really true. It's just the way, you know, the farmers are taught these days how to create crop anymore. It's just marketing for the big chemical companies. They marketed their chemicals this way so that the farmers will buy their chemical. That's how it goes. Anyway, okay, so then later on, the chemical isn't ready, or your wheat, for example, isn't ready. I'm trying to feed the cats. So you spray it again with the same chemical, because what it's called is burn down, and what the burn down does is it makes the wheat dry out faster, so you can go in your fields, combine it, and you just spray it again. You spray chemical on it again, which is just another time you sprayed it. Take that wheat, say, okay, you know how to make your flour and everything, and make a loaf of bread out of it. Alright? Tell your neighbor, this is what I've done. This is the wheat. I've sprayed it this many times. It's GMO ready seed. It's genetically modified. I sprayed it this many times with this chemical. This is what's in this chemical. You say, I made this loaf of bread from that. You take a loaf of bread you buy from the store, and then you give it to the same people. And you say, this is what's from the store. This is what's I made, and this is how many times I sprayed it. What do you think they're going to do? You tell them what's in that. You know the problem is with that whole theory is that bread that you bought from the store is the same as what you just made. It's all got that chemical in it. You don't think it does, but it does. It has all the same chemicals. So the way to do this is that's how you got to tell yourself, hey, how? So it really should be labeled. You know, One farmer was saying, no, I don't think so. You know, shouldn't have to label it because they don't want it labeled because they know they're not going to sell their stuff. Therein lies the real truth, isn't it? They know that if it's labeled that way, this is what was sprayed on this food, this is what was sprayed on this bread, all through, you know, in its processed life. This is what's sprayed on your vegetables. This is what was sprayed on your apples and your potatoes and all this. They know that it's not going to sell. They know it. And in the same store, there's a bin over here with vegetables and bread that was not sprayed with any chemicals. That's what shelves are going to be empty if you labeled it. And that's why they don't want it labeled. They're fighting against that. Because that is the truth. That is the very truth of the matter. And they're saying it's all safe. It's all safe. Well, if it was all safe, why do they not want it labeled? Answer me that. Why do they not want it labeled? Because they know it won't sell. They know that the advantage will go to the farmers who are, you know, using techniques. And there is a lot of, it's a growing community now of farmers, not just little farmers, but good, bigger dairy farms and everything that are coming up with ulterior ways to grow their crops. And there is ways. You know, crop rotation and using different kinds of methods. Sorry, it crashed. Methods to grow the crops. Like for example, you know, in my potatoes. Did you know that if you grow eggplants near the potatoes, those eggplants take away, the bugs will not come around the potatoes. And they'll go to the eggplant, but the eggplant is not going to be harmed by them. It takes away those pests. They go away because the eggplant is a plant that can survive that kind of thing, and it helps the potatoes. So there's different ways. You can plant different things in between your potatoes, and you know, and it does. It's just alternative ways. And cultivating for me is going to be the biggest way. I know. You know, you say, oh man, but look at the cost difference. All right, I got to run this tractor through the field maybe once a week to cultivate, but I've spent, you know, $20,000 on chemicals to keep the pests and weeds down. I don't see, you know, and then on the top of it, what do you really want to eat? You want to eat the potatoes that I grow that were just cultivated and no chemicals sprayed on them? Or do you want the potatoes that somebody else grew and that was sprayed 2 or 3 times with chemicals to keep the weeds down on them? And if you knew that, what would you buy? You know the answer. Because if you knew what was in those chemicals, you wouldn't eat it at all. The government knows it too, and so do these big chemical companies. They just don't want they don't want to get these messages out. And they've been duping the farmers into saying, hey, this is the way to go. But it's not really. The old ways were the good ways, and they grow good food, and they grow and it worked. It's just crop rotations and things like that actually really, really work. They just got away from it because of labor and everything like that. But it can come back. All right, anyway, I'm going to go clean this up. I better finish my chores. My camera's stuck to the transmission. And I know that I'm preaching on this stuff, you know, but, you know, it's important. It's important to the consumer. It's important to me that I'm doing the right thing. And that's why I'm doing this. You know, I want my animal, this little girl, to be happy. And I want her not to eat chemically, you know, hay, chemicals on the hay that they're eating. I don't want that, you know. There's no way. I don't want them eating that stuff. I want them to be healthy. I want to be healthy, and so should you. So let's get some other stuff done. All right, bye. So, anybody has never seen a grain dryer, this is one. Trilogy Series 22440. This is on a pretty big dairy farm here in upstate New York. And what I'm doing is cleaning it out for them. Exchange for some potatoes. I clean it out, and you get this corn. This is what, after the corn is being dried, it looks like this. And man, the goats are loving it. So let's see. Part of the inside of it, the corn actually goes on the out between this panel here and the outside wall, and it just keeps dropping down. This hot air in here dries it. You can see a big fan down there, and that's hot air coming in here, and it just dries this corn as it drops down through. That's how it works. I got it almost done. I just wanted to show you. This is what it looks like in here. Pretty cool. I got like I got 4 bags out of here today, and that'll last a long time for me. There's goats. They can't eat corn a lot, but they'll eat this stuff. You know, just mix it in with their meal now, and boy, they're gonna chew it down. There's things for anybody to think about. Your farmers are drying corn. You can ask them to exchange for something, which I do. Potatoes, different stuff. So that's just what it is, powdered corn, you know. Milk so good too. And the bucks are skin handful of it. Looking it right on up. Yeah, there you go. I started putting a little bit of a different floor in here. There, you can see it. Because it's still part of the gutter, and I stopped cementing in the past summer. I just put these boards in, and it's made it a little harder here, so it's tripping over everything. So I changed that up a little bit, and I'm using the big tub. That's the wet stuff that I got. I don't know if it'll dry out, but it's got moisture in it, and I'll try to use that up tonight, some of it, and keep feeding it. It really needs to be dried out, but it's cold. And maybe being out of the weather, it'll help it some. Dry it out some a little bit, but I'll use it. Mix in some of their feed. And I'll use that wet stuff. Because they're definitely use it. Once they start realizing what it is. Pretty much the powder comes off from the drying corn. You saw me earlier, I was in the dryer, and this is the result of it. It's actually corn. It just gets filtered out, and they're eating the crap out of it, so I like that, yeah. mix it in with the feed, you know, some, and it helps with the refill. And I'll try to get a little bit more. Let's see, what did I want? I need some oats and that too. Dump it in there, and mix it up. I mean, that's what I'll do. I'll end up just mixing it all up in that tub. You know, put some oats in there if I can get some, and some minerals and molasses. Just dump it in there and mix it by hand. And there you go. It might work. Alright, well that's what I've been doing. Mixing floors, getting feed. I'll try to find some oats here. Unfortunately, this farm hasn't grown oats in a few years, so I can't get any from them. I got this corn though, and I know I can get more corn if I have to. I like it. That's how you work things on a farm. Alright, what's up with this?